This was my 9th proposal, and she rejected me again. Impatiently, she said, "Chen Lang, aren't you tired of this? I've told you so many times, I value freedom. I don't want to be tied down by marriage. If you keep pressuring me to marry, we're breaking up." While I was lying in the hospital after a car accident, the woman who claimed to cherish her freedom was partying at a bar with her male best friend until dawn. After I was discharged, I initiated the breakup myself. Half a year later, she came looking for me again. She said, "Stop being childish, come back with me. I'm agreeing to marry you, okay? But you have to promise that even after marriage, you won't restrict my freedom. I don't want to be stuck in a kitchen all day as a housewife. I have my own social circle." Before she could finish, I softly said, "I'm getting married next month." Lying in a hospital bed that day, I felt dazed. I had loved her for 7 years, desperately wanting to be with her and start a family, but she never agreed. 3 hours before the accident, I had proposed to my girlfriend, Tang Yuyu, for the 9th time. And once again, she rejected me. This time, her impatience was obvious. She said she was like a bird without feet, destined to keep flying until it died, that she didn't want marriage to become her cage. She loved her freedom and preferred dating to marriage. After being rejected again, I walked the streets in a daze and was sideswiped by an out-of-control car. Fortunately, no bones were broken. The doctor said I could be discharged after 2 days of observation. It was late outside, and I called Tang Yuyu many times, but she didn't answer. Then I saw Xiao Tingjian's post on WeChat Moments, photos and videos clearly showing Tang Yuyu celebrating his birthday at a bar. They were holding hands, smiling sweetly. The caption read, "Holding your hand, growing old together. My love for you is eternal." If it had been before, I would have been furious. I would have immediately questioned Tang Yuyu, maybe even picked a fight with Xiao Tingyan. But at that moment, I only felt a pang of sadness. I liked Zhao's post and commented, "Wishing you happiness." Then I tossed my phone aside. My nose stung, and I wanted to cry, but instead I laughed bitterly. 7 years. I had loved her for 7 long years. And over time, my love had only grown more humble. 9 proposals, all rejected. On the surface, we were boyfriend and girlfriend, but when she was with Xiao Tingyan, they seemed more like a couple. Even my friends said I looked more like the third wheel intruding on someone else's relationship. Now I was just tired. Someone once said that dating without the intention of marriage is just playing around. I was like a fish stubbornly biting the hook, refusing to let go. Because of that, Tang Yuyu believed I couldn't live without her. But didn't she know? Love requires mutual effort and care. It doesn't blossom if only one person is watering it. Those who are favored always become fearless. Just as I was thinking that, Tang Yuyu called. I hesitated, then answered. Before I could say anything, she snapped, "Chen Lang, what's your problem? Why are you commenting nonsense on Zhao's post? I was just celebrating his birthday at the bar. I didn't do anything else. Can you not be so narrow-minded? I'm not coming home tonight. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Make sure the raw fish congee is ready for me." With that, she hung up. I sighed, lying in the hospital bed, my mind replaying the memories of us through the years. I met Tang Yuyu in college. That winter, her parents passed away. With no income, she started working part-time while studying, taking on odd jobs to make ends meet. One night, I had just come out of an internet cafe near the school when I saw her being harassed by a drunk man. Without hesitation, I stepped in to protect her. The drunk pointed at Tang Yuyu and yelled, "You brat. If you don't pay back the money, I'll come to your school every day and make a scene." Tang Yuyu's eyes turned red as she cried, "My parents just died and you're already coming to me for money? Do you even have a conscience?" The drunk cursed in some dialect and said, "I don't care. It's only right to pay back debts. Even if we go to court, I'm in the right." I quietly asked Tang what was going on. She sobbed and explained that her parents had been in a small business partnership with someone, and the final payment hadn't been settled when they passed away. She had already sold and mortgaged everything they owned, but still owed tens of thousands. Her plan was to work and slowly pay back, but the creditor wouldn't wait. Seeing her tear-streaked face, my heart softened. I said, "I'll pay the debt for you." I told the man, "Take out the IO, take the money, and get lost." After I transferred the money, he threw the IOU at me and left, still cursing. Tang was incredibly grateful, promising she'd pay me back one day. I just laughed it off, trying to act like a big spender, though I spent months afterward eating nothing but steamed buns and pickles. From then on, I worked part-time with her, and our relationship grew stronger. In the second half of freshman year, we became a couple. Like all young lovers, we were sweet at first. But by junior year, small cracks began to show, because of Xiao Tingyan. He'd also been admitted to our university. He was Tang's childhood neighbor, 2 years younger, and had followed her around since they were kids. Tang told me she saw him as a younger brother. I believed her at first. But the more time passed, the more uneasy I became. The first time Xiao saw me, his eyes flashed with hostility. I brushed it off, thinking maybe it was just normal protective little brother behavior. But Xiao started crossing lines. He'd act overly intimate with Tang right in front of me, and often interrupted our dates. Tang never saw a problem with it. Whenever I complained, she got upset, and we argued again and again, always because of him. My friends warned me to be careful, saying that if things continued this way, my relationship with Tang would eventually fall apart. After graduation, Tang and I moved to another city for work. Without Xiao around, things calmed down. But she still refused my proposals, over and over. Then last year, Xiao graduated too, and surprisingly, moved to the same city. From that moment, Tang began clinging to him again, like before, as if she'd forgotten I even existed. I was exhausted, completely drained from trying to hold on. That night in the hospital, I didn't sleep. My mind replayed everything, every argument, every promise, every heartbreak. At dawn, my phone rang again. It was Tang. Her voice was angry. "Chen Lang, where are you? Why aren't you home? Didn't I tell you to make rice porridge with snakehead last night?" I replied calmly, "I was hit by a car. I'm in the hospital." Before long, she arrived, with Xiao Tingyan beside her. Seeing that I was only scraped and bruised, she sighed with relief. Then she frowned and scolded me. "I thought you were seriously hurt. It's just a scratch, no big deal. You're an adult, can't you be more careful? Can you be discharged today? Handle the procedures yourself. Xiao has an interview, and I need to accompany him." Her boyfriend was lying in a hospital bed after being hit by a car, and she didn't even care. All she could think about was Xiao's interview. In the past, I would have been furious. Now I just felt regret. Regret for wasting 7 years of my youth. With his back to Tang, Xiao turned to me with a mocking smirk and said, "Chen Lang, I heard you propose to Sister Yu again yesterday. Could it be you got hit by a car because she rejected you?" Then he added smugly, "Sister Yu and I are both non-marriage advocates, you know. You really have to understand her." I ignored him. Over the years, he had constantly sabotaged our relationship, always stirring things up, always making her doubt me. Because of him, Tang and I fought countless times. Sometimes, she even said that I didn't understand her as well as Xiao did, that he was more caring. She said he never lectured her with big principles, that he just knew how to pamper her. Looking back now, I was so foolish. Seeing me stay silent, Xiao wasn't satisfied. He wanted to provoke me, to make me lose control in front of Tang, to make her hate me even more. He narrowed his eyes and said with fake innocence, "Chen Lang, I was just celebrating my birthday last night. There were a lot of friends there, so I made that post just to show off. I asked Sister Yu to pretend to be my girlfriend for fun. I didn't expect you to comment like that. I even showed her your comment and tried to explain, but she got angry. How can you not trust her like that?" Looking at his hypocritical face, I finally said calmly, "Xiao Tingyan, has anyone ever told you that you're disgusting? If you like someone, go after them openly. Why play these sneaky games behind people's backs? Are you even a man? No wonder you got stripped naked and thrown into the lake back in college." Back in college, Xiao had gotten close to another girl, pretending to be caring and sweet, until her boyfriend found out. The guy slapped him several times, stripped him naked, and threw him into the freezing campus lake. That had always been his biggest humiliation. After I brought it up, his face twisted with rage. But when Tang turned to look, he quickly put on a wounded expression and said softly, "Chen Lang, I really didn't mean anything. Isn't it too much for you to say that about me?" Tang glared at me. "Chen Lang, did the car hit you in the head or something? Even if I rejected your proposal yesterday, even if you got hit by a car, what does that have to do with Xiao? If you're angry, don't take it out on him." I looked at her, really looked at her. "Since you walked into this room, you haven't shown any concern about my accident," I said quietly. "All you've done is accuse and scold me. Tang Yu, whose girlfriend are you really?" I took a breath, my voice steady. "I've thought about it all night, and I've realized there's something deeply wrong with our relationship. I don't want to continue like this." I looked her in the eye and said the words that had been buried in my chest for years. "Let's break up." Tang Yu froze, completely stunned, while Xiao Tingjian's eyes lit up with barely hidden excitement. Tang Yu became even angrier. "Chen Lang, what did you just say? Say it again if you dare." I took a deep breath, looking her in the eyes, and said softly, "I said I don't think I love you as much as I used to. I'm really tired. You like freedom? Fine. I'll give it to you." Over the years, because of Xiao Tingjian's constant meddling, every argument or cold war between Tang Yu and me ended with her threatening to break up. I was always the one compromising, always apologizing. In her eyes, ending the relationship was her trump card, her prerogative. So when I brought up breaking up first, she was shocked, angry, and a little flustered. After being together for several years, she had seen my determination, and now the panic on her face grew even more pronounced. She hurriedly said, "Chen Lang, don't joke with me at a time like this. I know I've been neglecting you lately, and I know rejecting your proposal yesterday hurt you. I'll make it up to you. You've always wanted to travel, haven't you? Once Xiao Tingjian's interview is successful and he's settled in his new job, we'll go on a nice trip to relax, okay?" She was giving in, compromising in her roundabout way. Seeing the flicker of pleading and panic in her eyes, I took a deep breath, about to respond, when Xiao Tingyan suddenly hurled himself into the conversation. "Chen Lang, how can you say such heartless things after everything Yu has done for you over the years? Do you think you can force her to obey you in everything just by threatening to break up?" Tang Yu's face flickered with suspicion. Perhaps she thought I, like her, was using the breakup as a threat to make her bow down. I didn't want to dwell on it. Let her think what she wanted. After proposing the breakup, I felt something unexpected. Regret, yes, but also a strange relief, as if a heavy shackle had been lifted. Tang Yu opened her mouth to speak again, but Xiao Tingyan cut her off. "Yu, my interview time is almost here." Tang looked conflicted. She turned to me and said, "I'll go with Xiao Tingyan to the company for the interview first. Once that's done, I'll come back to help you with your discharge procedures. When we get home, we'll talk properly, and don't be childish anymore. I'll pretend you didn't say those things just now." After saying that, she gave me a quick kiss on the cheek and hurried out with Xiao Tingyan. At that moment, my heart finally died completely for her. That afternoon, I handled my own discharge procedures. Back at the apartment I had rented with Tang Yu, I started packing my personal belongings. I had made up my mind to break up with her. I didn't want to drag things out. It was better to make a clean break than prolong the pain and risk further complications. Night fell, and Tang Yu returned. She came with Xiao Tingyan, both of them clearly drunk, smelling of alcohol. Excited and laughing, they were stunned when they saw my packed suitcase. I looked at them calmly, pulling my suitcase closer. "Sorry," I said softly. "I was planning to pack and leave quickly, but the faucet in the bathroom broke, so I've been busy with that until now. All my personal belongings are packed. I've also resigned from my job. Let's skip the farewell dinner. This is it." Tang Yu grabbed my suitcase anxiously. "Chen Lang, are you really breaking up with me today?" I helped Xiao Tingyan with his interview and celebrated his success. "I forgot to go to the hospital to handle your discharge. Are you angry about that?" "I apologize." "Okay, don't scare me." Before I could respond, Xiao Tingyan chimed in sarcastically, "Chen Lang, don't be so petty. She even said she'd take you on a trip in a few days to relax. I know you don't like me, but I just want to appear in front of you. Don't use breaking up to threaten you. She's already apologizing to you in a low voice. Just take the chance and move on. Tang Yuyu, drunk and angry, raised her eyebrows at Xiao Tingjian's words. She let go of the suitcase and glared at me. I've already admitted my mistake. You should know when to stop. From her perspective, my behavior mirrored exactly what Xiao Tingyan had described. I was manipulating her with the threat of breaking up. At that point, I had no desire to explain anything. I took one last deep look at Tang Yuyu, the woman I had loved so deeply for 7 years. Had she ever truly loved me? Or had she only stayed out of gratitude because I had helped pay off her debts? Now, I had no idea how much of my presence still remained in her heart. None of that mattered anymore. Before leaving, I said softly, Xiao Tingyan is not a man you can entrust your life to. I once loved you deeply, and I don't want to see you get hurt. But it seems I no longer have the right to meddle in your life. You said you were a footless bird yearning for freedom, not wanting to be bound. I'm setting you free, and in doing so, I'm freeing myself. From now on, I will no longer be a part of your life. Farewell. Tang Yuyu didn't respond. Xiao Tingyan, glaring at me with malice, said, There are plenty of good men in the world, Chen Lang. Do you really think you're the only one? Sister Yuyu is exceptional. Countless men are pursuing her. If you break up with her, it's your loss. I've liked her since we were young. If you don't want her, I'll give her happiness. You'll regret it. His words made Tang Yuyu's intoxication surge. She roared, Chen Lang, if you dare walk out that door, I'll have Xiao Tingyan move in immediately. He's right. There are plenty of good men out there. If you break up with me, I can immediately find a new boyfriend to replace you. I'm giving you one last chance. What you just said was too much. Apologize to Xiao Tingyan right now, and I'll pretend tonight never happened. Even now, she still wanted me to apologize to Xiao Tingyan. It was clear, all these years, he had always held a higher place in her heart than I did. I dragged my suitcase to the door. Without looking back, I said softly, Tang Yu, I don't love you like I used to. I no longer have that obsession that consumed me for 7 years. For the rest of our lives, I hope we never meet again. After breaking up, we can't be friends. We've hurt each other too deeply. And we can't pretend to be strangers. We've loved each other. The best thing is to never meet again. That's the greatest respect for what we had. I left the apartment, took a flight back to my hometown, and deleted all contact information for Tang Yuyu and Xiao Tingyan. From now on, I hoped they would never appear in my life again. My parents were overjoyed at my return. Why didn't Tang Yuyu come back with you? They asked. We broke up, I said. I quit my job. I want to travel for a bit. I won't stay home too long this time. My mom looked worried, about to say something, when my dad glared at her. That night, my dad and I shared 2 bottles of BYO, drunk together. He said, Your mom and I can't help much with the road ahead. The only thing we can do is not interfere. Every generation has its own fortune. Whatever you choose, we will always support you. If you get tired, come home and rest. Just remember, this home will always be your safe harbor. I cried, venting all the grievances I had held in over the years, and then passed out. In my dreams, I went back to those youthful days and saw Tang Yuyu. The memories were beautiful, but they couldn't escape the cruelty of reality. When I woke up, before I could dwell on regret and sadness, I heard a commotion coming from my parents' bedroom. Through the crack in the door, I saw my dad kneeling by the bed, while my mom wielded a feather duster, glaring at him. Did marrying me make you feel like you lost out, you old thing? At your age, still thinking about flings from back then? Last night, you got drunk with our son and cried your eyes out. Aren't you embarrassed? Let's get this straight. Who is this Yuyu? And who is this so-called Ching, another vixen? Dad explained miserably. Honey, they were just passers-by in my life. You're my only one. Last night, our son was heartbroken and crying. I didn't know how to comfort him, so I used some of my own youthful experiences to guide him. I swear, it's not what you think. You're my only true love. Eavesdropping at the door, I twitched my eye. I thought about going in to tell Mom not to let Dad kneel too long. His knees weren't good, but decided against it. Mom was furious. And if I joined, there would be one more kneeling guest beside him. After only a few days home, I couldn't stand my mom's passive aggressiveness toward Dad, or Dad's fawning, boot-licking attitude toward Mom. I quickly set off on my travels. All these years, I had worked hard hoping to give Tang Yuyu a warm and loving home. Now, after the breakup, I wanted to see the world. I had once promised her we would travel across our beautiful country together. But with Xiao Tingyan constantly interfering, that never happened. This time, no one could stop me. I packed my backpack, ready to leave. Just as I was about to leave, my mom came over with her phone. She looked a little strange. Tang Yuyu called. She wants to talk to you. I shook my head firmly. There's nothing to talk about. Mom nodded approvingly, hung up, and said, Good. That's my son. When it's over, it's over. You can't drag things out. When it comes to relationships, don't be like your scoundrel father, always eyeing what's in someone else's bowl while eating from his own. Dad gave me pitiful looks, signaling for me to speak up for him. Without a word, I ran out of the house. Mom's resentment was best left for Dad to deal with. For the next 3 months, I traveled. I experienced the extreme cold and desolation of the far north, the year-round spring of the south, the vast expanse of the west, and the dazzling prosperity of the east. Finally, I stopped in a small seaside town. This is where my heart belonged. Over the years, influenced by Tang Yuyu's advocacy of freedom, I too had longed to fly freely like a bird. I thought I would gradually get used to this life, but in less than 2 months, I grew tired of it. There is no absolute freedom. In this world, those who seek absolute freedom are in essence just unwilling to bear the problems and responsibilities they have to face. These were the words of Song Shanshan back in college. Song Shanshan had been Tang Yuyu's roommate, and later, she became a companion I met on this journey. Her home was in this small seaside town. I had met Song Shanshan by chance in the vast lands of the Northwest. Back in our university days, she had shared a dorm room with Tang Yuyu, so I was quite familiar with her. After years of not seeing each other, her appearance hadn't changed much, but her personality had shifted slightly. She wasn't as outgoing or cheerful as before. There was now a hint of melancholy about her. After a bonfire party in the vast Northwest, I found her sitting alone on a roadside stone, gazing at the starry sky. When she heard my footsteps, she gave me a faint smile and continued looking at the stars. I smiled and said, "It's been a few years. Have you taken up studying the stars?" She softly replied, "To be precise, ever since my mom passed away, I've liked looking at the stars. I always feel like she hasn't really left, like she's become a star watching over me. See that brightest star twinkling? I feel like that's my mom responding to me." I looked at the twinkling star and whispered, "Are you nearsighted, or is that an orbital satellite?" Song Shanshan shot me a sidelong glance and huffed in annoyance. I sat down beside her, looking at the starry sky, and sighed deeply. I've missed out on so much beauty before this time traveling. I've seen so many people and places. It feels like my soul has been cleansed. Once you let go of certain things, you realize the hurdles you thought were insurmountable were just fleeting clouds. Life is just birth, aging, sickness, and death. Everything else, you smile and let it go. Do you think my insights are profound? Song Shanshan pouted and replied, "Chen Lang, are you comforting me? Or have you had an epiphany after a heartbreak and are planning to become a monk?" I gave her a look and didn't respond. We sat there for a long time, gazing at the starry sky, enjoying the tranquility. Later, Song Shanshan took the initiative to ask about me and Tang Yuyu. If it had been my old self, I probably wouldn't have said much. I never wanted to put my affairs out there for others to judge. But now, having let go of that relationship, I calmly and openly told Song Shanshan about everything that had happened between me and Tang Yuyu after graduation. After listening, Song Shanshan sighed softly. "Losing you is her loss." I joked, "You think I'm a good man too? Are you tempted while I'm single? Considering we're old acquaintances, I could give you a chance to take advantage of the situation." In the past, Song Shanshan would have responded with a hearty laugh, saying she didn't go for guys close to home or something like that. But now, she nodded and said to me directly, "Okay." I was stunned, then chuckled awkwardly. "I was just kidding. I didn't mean to tease you." Before I could finish, she said, "I'm serious. Back then, your care and love for Tang Yu made me envious. I also want to experience what it's like to be someone's favorite." After that night, Song Shan Shan and I traveled to many places together. Our feelings for each other gradually warmed. 3 months later, I came to Song Shan Shan's home in this seaside town, settled down, and ran a small shop with her. Life was easy and comfortable. When I was with her, she was considerate of my feelings, and I also took extra care of hers. Love, I realized, is about complementing each other, not just seeing the other person's strengths, but also accepting their flaws. Song Shan Shan and I did very well in this regard. With her, I truly found a home for my heart. I wanted to propose to her. I had proposed to Tang Yu 9 times before, all unsuccessful, so I already had a psychological shadow about proposing. After being with Song Shan Shan, I wanted to propose several times, but the words always got stuck in my throat. Just as Song Shan Shan and I had been together for half a year, I finally mustered up the courage. I planned to propose and then take her back home to meet my parents. But before I could even speak, she looked at me with bright eyes, as if she could read my thoughts. That evening, with the setting sun shining on her, she smiled at me and said, "Chen Lang, I want to get married." I was stunned for a moment, then smiled. "Beautiful Miss Song Shan Shan, will you marry me?" Her smile was radiant, and she nodded yes. A few months ago, I had already brought Song Shan Shan home. While traveling, I had told my parents about her, and they were very fond of her. In their eyes, she had pulled me out of the abyss of heartbreak. When we got home, my parents were even more pleased. Seeing Song Shan Shan's gentle and generous nature, they immediately started calling relatives and friends to arrange our wedding. The day after I returned to my hometown, Tang Yu came to my door. I was curious how she knew I was back. After all, I had deleted her contact information, and my parents had blacklisted hers. Song Shan Shan said, "I posted on my WeChat moments." She probably saw it and rushed over here. I looked at Song Shan Shan, speechless. "You really know how to make trouble for me. What are you trying to do, get us back together?" Song Shan Shan punched me lightly, saying crossly, "I just want you to have a clean break from that relationship before we get married." I pouted and muttered, "Women are so petty. I think you'd just like to watch the drama." Before Song Shan Shan could speak, my mom glared at me. "Go and talk to her clearly, and don't get involved with other women anymore. If you dare to be like your father, I'll break your legs." My dad smiled dryly, constantly giving me winks. It had been half a year, but the incident where he revealed some of his past affairs to comfort me hadn't passed my mom. She probably remembered it for life, finding fault with him every now and then and giving him a beating. My dad had sacrificed so much for me. I walked to the door and saw Tang Yu. She looked much more haggard after not seeing her for half a year. Seeing me, she hardly spoke. "Chen Lang, I know I was wrong. Stop it, okay? I know you're with Song Shan Shan just to make me jealous. Don't worry, I won't be mad at you for this. As long as you come back to me, I'll pretend nothing happened between you and her. I can marry you, but I don't want to be tied to the kitchen after marriage. I have my own social circle. Let's keep some space for each other. But I promise I will definitely be a good wife." Before she could finish, I said softly, "I'm getting married. My wife is Song Shan Shan." Tang Yu's face went pale. She stared at me blankly, her eyes quickly reddening. She trembled and said, "Song Shan Shan is not as pretty as me. Her figure is not as good as mine. What do you see in her?" I pointed to my heart and said calmly, a spiritual connection. Thoughts echo in the mind. I cherish her. She cares about me. That's enough." Tang Yu said excitedly, "I can do that too, Chen Lang. We have 7 years of feelings. I feel the same way about you. You can't do this to me." I looked at her deeply and sighed softly. "Tang Yu, stop deceiving yourself. You know very well how I've treated you all these years. You also know how you've treated me. In your heart, I've never been as good as Xiao Tingyan. Even outsiders can see it. How can you not know? Tang Yuyu's face turned even paler. She stepped forward, grabbed my hand, and pleaded, Chen Lang, I was wrong before. Forgive me, okay? Just this once. After we get married, I'll listen to you, okay? I pulled my hand away, shook my head, and said softly, It's impossible between us. Song Shan and I are getting married soon. If you come to congratulate us, we welcome you. But don't let Xiao Tingyan come. I still find him disgusting. Hearing this, Tang Yuyu smiled miserably, looking behind me. Song Shan stepped forward, holding my hand tightly, as if declaring her ownership. Tang Yuyu looked at Song Shan jealously and cried out unwillingly, Why did you steal him from me? Give him back to me. Song Shan looked at Tang Yuyu pityingly. Back in college, I warned you not to get too close to Xiao Tingyan. You didn't listen and always neglected Chen Lang. I felt bad for him. You don't love him, someone else does. Xiao Tingyan, please don't bother my man anymore. I hope you can find your own happiness in the future. Song Shan's words completely broke Tang Yuyu. She broke down in tears and turned away. I felt a little regret, but nothing more. Song Shan looked at Tang Yuyu's departing figure and said softly, Xiao Tingyan had a car accident and is paralyzed from the waist down. Otherwise, she wouldn't have come to you. I was stunned. What happened? Song Shan explained that after Tang Yuyu and I broke up, Xiao Tingyan pursued Tang Yuyu even more. Tang Yuyu wavered, ready to accept him, but then Xiao Tingyan had the accident, making him incapable of giving her happiness. Song Shan had posted about marrying me to remind Tang Yuyu of this, which was why she had come. I looked at Song Shan with a strange expression. Wife, who taught you this ruthless tactic? You won't use it on me in the future, will you? Song Shan snorted, smiling. That depends on your future performance. I put my arm around Song Shan's waist, looked at Tang Yuyu's lonely departing figure, and sighed in my heart. Tang Yuyu, I don't love you anymore. I hope you can find a good partner in the future. And I hope that we never have any regrets.